Are you a Delaware first-time homebuyer? Well, you're in luck. I'm going to go through all the qualifications and guidelines you need to know as a first-time homebuyer. We're going to talk about the loan programs, down payment assistance, everything you need to know. We're going to give you a quick overview in this video for Delaware first-time homebuyers. Hello, I'm John Thomas with Prime Residential Mortgage, and I'm going to review all this information with you. So the first thing you have to understand, if you are looking to purchase your first home, you have to first start with picking a mortgage loan program that's going to best fit you. And there's 4 options you can pick from when you're buying a home as a first-time home buyer. You can get a veterans loan or a VA loan, a USDA rural housing loan, an FHA loan, or a conventional loan. Now, each one of those 4 loan programs have pros and cons and different qualifications. So in order to do the veterans loan, you need to be a veteran that qualifies with a certificate of eligibility. So that means 2 years active duty and typically or 8 years reserves. So if you meet those guidelines, we can certainly look at the VA loan. If you're not a veteran, then you're going to have to look at one of the 3 other options: USDA, FHA, and conventional. If you're trying to do least amount of money out of pocket, then the best option obviously would be a USDA rural housing loan because it's 0% down. FHA and conventional both require you to come up with a certain minimum down payment. Now, USDA, though, has 2 restrictions which you have to see if you qualify. One is there is an income restriction based on the county you're purchasing in. Now, in the blog, there is a link to the USDA loan program so you can look up the current income guidelines and the property eligibility. But just real quick, as of 2017, if you're buying in Newcastle County and you're a household of 1 to 4, you got to make less than $94,350. The second requirement or restriction is geographical eligibility. You have to purchase a property that is in a geographical area that USDA is eligible. So if you are looking in Sussex County, you're in luck. The entire county qualifies. If you're looking in Kent County, pretty much everywhere outside of the city of Dover, is a little area around the city of Dover, and the city of Dover that are not eligible. When you go into Newcastle County, pretty much everyone thinks the canal is the divide. Anything below the canal all the way down to Kent County is good, and that's true, but there is a little sliver north of the canal. If you go down 896, cross Porter Road, that's where it becomes eligible, so that's a little bit area of bare. So if you're buying in the right area, you're under the household income restrictions, that's a program to look at. Now, if that doesn't meet your needs, then the other 2 options is an FHA loan or a conventional loan. FHA is minimum 3.5% down, conventional is 5%, but there is 2 special programs, Home Ready, Home Possible, which you could put as little as 3% down. So typically conventional is better credit score, so you need to explore those 2 options. So if you're not getting the 0% down, what you're going to want to look at is a down payment assistance program, and there's a couple different programs in Delaware. Some of them are county specific, so let's start with Newcastle County. You've got 3 programs from Newcastle County: Newcastle County DPS, Newcastle County IDEA, which is currently not funded, and the Newcastle County Revamp program. So those are from Newcastle County. They each have household income restrictions and geographical restrictions. Again, in the blog, there's links to get more information on that to see if one of those would qualify for you. And obviously, you can only use those in Newcastle County. There was also a 4th program called the Newcastle County VHAP, or Vacant Home Buyer Assistance Program. That is no longer funded as well. But if it does come back, it would be an option. Then you've got a special program from Primary Residential Mortgage called the Dream Maker Down Payment Program. That's for an FHA loan, where you can get a second mortgage for the 3.5% down payment and get 100% financing. Delaware State Housing Authority has 3 programs, 2 for down payment assistance, the Small Mortgage Assistance Loan, and the Advantage 4 Grant Program. The 3rd program is a mortgage credit certificate or a tax credit program, which is not dependent on a down payment. And then the City of Wilmington has a Live Near Your Work program for people that are employees of the City of Wilmington buying in the city. Newark has 2 programs. They have a DPA program, and then they have what's called their POO program if you're buying a unit with a rental property and you're going to give up the rental permit. So that's your programs from Newcastle County. Kent County, a lot less programs. You have the PRMI Dream Maker program. You've got the small loan. You've got the Advantage 4, both from Delaware State Housing Authority. And then you've got the Dover First Start program if you're purchasing in the city of Dover. When you go into Sussex County, you really only have the PRMI Dreammaker down payment program or one of the two programs from DSHA, the small or the Advantage 4. So those are your options to help you with the required down payment on one of the loan programs if that's what you need. The other issue that comes up for first-time home buyers is you may find a property in your price range, but it needs some work in order to meet lender guidelines and the seller won't do it. In that case, you need to use a renovation loan to purchase that property. You've got two choices for that. You've got an FHA 203K rehab loan or a conventional Fannie Mae HomeStyle renovation loan. Those are your two options. And again, more information in the blog, but the way they work is we'll lend you the money to buy the house and fix it up all in one loan. So but you still have your minimum required down payment. So if you're doing the FHA, you still need 3.5% down, but it's 3.5% of the purchase plus the renovations. If you're doing the conventional, you need 5% down, but it's 5% of the purchase price plus the renovation. So that can be a great option for a first-time home buyer that wants to buy a property and fix it up or renovate it all in one loan. And then another program for first-time home buyers is the Delaware Mortgage Credit Certificate Program, which allows first-time home buyers to get up to $2,000 every year on their federal income tax as a tax credit if you enroll in the program. But you have to enroll through a lender that's set up with the program for the state of Delaware. So out-of-state lenders, internet lenders, you're going to miss out on that opportunity because they're not going to be approved to do the program. Now, can you get your closing costs paid by somebody else? Yes. As a first-time home buyer, you can try and negotiate the seller to pay your closing costs. So if you get help with your down payment or you're using a loan program with no down payment and you can get the seller to pay some or all of your closing costs, you may be able to get into a home with very little money. Deposit, inspections, and appraisal if you can get the seller to pay your closing costs. So that is a great opportunity to look at. So that means you need to get a great buyer's agent to help negotiate on your behalf to try and get the seller to pay some or all of your closing costs. And then with your loan program and maybe a down payment assistance program, you can get in with very little money. If you have any questions about first-time homebuyer programs or the loan programs or anything, or you need help, we would love to help you out. Feel free to give us a call in the office at 302-703-0727 or find us online at www.delawaremortgageloans.net. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next update.